Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Property Management 101, and today's video we'll be discussing the 4 most common mistakes property managers make. The items shared today will help anyone that is becoming a property manager or currently is a property manager, regardless of the asset type or demographic type. It can apply to student, conventional, Section 8, mid-rise, multifamily, etc. There are a few other videos in addition to this one that I think will be helpful as well in this topic. And those are what does a property manager do and first time being a property manager. I will post those links to those 2 videos in the video description. Now to the 4 most common mistakes I see from property managers. Number 1, hardly leave the office. Regardless if you're a single family manager or a multifamily manager, one mistake I often see from those property managers is they don't leave the office enough. I'm always surprised when I ask or I'm talking to a manager how little they leave their office. To really be in touch and engage with your property or portfolio, here's some things I would highly recommend inspecting at least once a month. Vacant units, model units, amenity areas. Visit residents that recently moved in, check in with them to say you're stopping by, want to see if there's anything you can do for them, any work orders need submitted. Maybe in those type of situations, maybe it's time to collect their move-in condition form, things like that. Go with your maintenance team and perform a work order or 2 with them, or a vendor that's doing a job that's scheduled in maybe one of your units. Inspect a future move-in that's occurring in the near future. See if the unit's ready or if there's any feedback for your maintenance team and or vendors. Inspect a recent move-out. Maybe it's a situation where our team hasn't turned the unit yet, a resident just recently moved out. Get your eyes on it. And you also want to take a look at things like your maintenance shop, parking lots, landscaping, the perimeter of property, just to ensure that everything is up to the standard that you are enforcing as their leader. The number 2 most common mistake I see that property managers make is they do not delegate enough. Another common mistake that I often see is that managers will take on too much rather than delegate to their staff and or vendors. Now, this could be a result of a couple things like hiring. Maybe you haven't been proactive as much or interviewing as much, maybe to fill spots, and you're forced to take on those tasks. Or it could be something like training. Maybe your staff needs more training, and it's a dynamic of you don't feel comfortable with them performing yet, so maybe they need some extra training. So sometimes as a property manager, there could be other things that need to be worked on before you're allowing yourself to delegate these items, but keep in mind those things. It'll be important as a property manager that you're able to delegate tasks and not perform everything yourself. This will show the staff that you trust them, and this will allow you to focus on the high-level aspects of the property. I hope you're enjoying this video so far and learning something new. If so, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. And the 3rd most common mistake I see property managers make, lack of communication. I do believe you can over-communicate, but I also feel most managers don't communicate enough. I think often when the communication topic is brought up or lack of communication, most managers will tend to think that I'm only referring to residents and or staff. But it's important that we communicate well to residents, staff, but also to vendors, supervisors, and owners. Making sure you're communicating well with every party will be very vital and prevent future follow-up that will be needed for your staff and residents and vendors. And the last most common mistake I see that property managers make, not knowing the strategy of the asset. Now, the strategy of the asset could be something that's more directed by the type of loan it has on it, or what the ownership group needs to happen from a goal perspective. It'll be very important to know that asset strategy, and with each decision that is made every day that you have that strategy in mind. Is the asset a short-term hold looking to sell in the near future? Is the asset have to have an occupancy focus? Does the asset have to have a rent growth focus? Is the asset a long-term hold for this ownership group? Is the asset going to be going through a refinance in the near future? If so, what are some things that that bank or financial institution are going to be looking for to ensure that the property is in a good standing so they approve the refinancing? If you've not already done so, please watch my disclosure video as well as my why I do this video. And if you found this video helpful and learned something new, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. If you have any questions about this video or any of my videos, feel free to comment. I'll be happy to address it for you. And happy leasing.